Now, it kind of sounds like the word necessity it keeps getting brought up with your kind of journey so far. Like, you had to make your own rules due to necessity from kind of the local market within the metal scene, right? You kind of had to make your own rules. You kind of had that a necessity. Same with the martial arts and everything else.
Right, right. And what's really good here is I mean, there is a amazing, by the way, there are some like secret diamond in the rough kind of musicians here. Like I met a guitar player not too far from here. One of the craziest guitar players I've ever seen. Like, we have a lot of good musicians. I feel like, I don't know if we're behind. It's a lot of education. One of the biggest things I'm trying to do right now is educate bands about the business end of it. Like, a lot of bands, they'll think, well, if they pay $15,000 to buy onto this, whatever, 3 shows of a tour, and we're gonna get out there, and these record labels gonna be out there, and we'll probably get signed. And I'm like, no, that probably ain't gonna happen. There ain't no rep out here, and if there was, they're sleeping on the tour bus. Most of the time, we're sleeping anyway. Kind of like when I was on tour at Nile last time. I mean, everybody's just trying to sleep. And so I feel bad because these bands that are open to get out there and they're like, and we're like, oh, sorry, but we're exhausted. We just rode like, the half of US. And so, and I feel bad, but they had that mindset. And what they do is, I call it the war tribe syndrome. Venues are like watering holes. And all the bands, they compete for that watering hole, and they think if they get on the owner's good side, they get to open for all these national acts, that it'll provide this big opportunity. And again, I'm trying to explain to them that what's going to get you out there is focusing on your music, focusing on your brand, make a audience yourself. Look at how unique. You have to be honest. Like, to be honest, I like critique. I'm with John Asher, the publicist. Mm-hmm. He is amazing. He is brutal too, man. He'll tell me, he's like, this video sucks. And I'm going, you are right, man. And so I go back. It always kind of stings, but you got to take it and go, I need to redo this video. He is right. It sucks. But bands here, oh my God, they cannot handle it. They're like, what do you mean? It's like, stop that. It's okay. That's part of learning and getting better. And so trying to give them that formula of, to succeed, you got to get on the road a little bit. You got to develop some good merch. There's some business things you're going to have to do here. And there ain't no label representative sitting there waiting for you.
Do you think you learned that mentality, though, just by your experiences? And maybe most of the local bands have not experienced what it's like to kind of be out on the road and the bigger picture, right? Like, you're mentioning like what the smaller picture is, right? But you have the idea of like what the bigger picture should be. Just as myself, I've experienced a lot too, just as you. But do you think you learned the bigger picture just from experiencing life outside of, like, to quote you, your local watering hole?
Right. I think I had actually, can you rephrase it as a little bit? It kind of cut in at the last moment. I start piecing together my brain. I was like, wait a minute.
I'll say it again. Do you think that you learned the bigger picture, which is, I think you learned the bigger picture from experiencing life outside of North Carolina, being out on the road, experiencing life, rather than being stuck in your a little box, as we'll say, as to quote you, your local watering hole, right?
Got you. It's really, I think it really is there's this environment here, because it's fun. I used to play, I've been part of the scene since I was 12, 13. I hate to say it, not to downplay, but you see the same bands doing the same things, fighting over the same thing, and they're not progressing. And like I said, I don't, if they're happy, it's different. But whenever they say things like, why ain't we as big as this band? And it's like, well, I can tell you why, but you're going to get mad at me. But yeah, it is the perspective of, and I don't know, it isn't the idea of experience. Experience provides perspective. So getting away from here, getting away from this environment, because there is this like set environment. You here, what you do is you play this venue, and then you play a venue that's only 20 minutes up the road. Then you play this venue, and then you play that venue, and then you play again like 3 times in 1 month, and it's like, whew, you done exhausted everybody. It's you got to get out there, man. You got to cover some ground. And what they do is, and I hate to say it's a lot of this fake or false. We have a lot of promoters that are not actually promoted. They're like the owner's cousin.
Okay.
Tim, right? And they're like, he's a promoter. He's not. He don't know anything about marketing. He don't even know anything about the genres. He thinks he's gonna make cash. As musicians, especially in metal, we don't make the most money playing, and you have to have a enjoyment. Like me, if I play a show, maybe I'm not gonna get paid. I enjoy playing, though. That's what contracts are for. But
right.
I'm gonna get me but yeah, they have all these false promises. These bands kind of buy into it a little bit too. They'll start like, this one promoter just got in trouble for this crap. He's telling bands that they'll do this. He'll give them open up for like Dying Fetus and all this, and this one band, they had to sell so many tickets to do it that they end up, to impress the promoter, they bought most of their own tickets and paid, no joke, about like $3,000. It was something crazy.
Wow.
And I'm going, what? Why would you do that? And I feel bad because you can see in their face that they're like, we messed up, didn't we? It's like, yeah, no, because at the end of the day, you just lost $3,000.
Right.
They're not going home going, I'm going to sign these guys. They're going home going, I'm going to eat.
Right. Well, given that you had just said, how can we help bands not have this mentality and kind of stick up for themselves? Just by saying no, we're not going to do that, and not feeling like you kind of are obligated to take every fucking show provided.
Yeah, and the thing is, whenever I do talk to a musician, I do try to provide, and it's subjective. I only have what I have, and I can provide. And I've been blessed to have some really cool mentors between members of like Nile and Grant Truesdale from Unleashed to Archers. Unleashed to Archers is huge. I mean, I think they had like the most views on Napalm Records last year or something. They're rocking it. Well, the guitar player, Grant, he is such a sweet person. He will actually give insight. He's the first person who signed us and everything. And he will like explain the industry and how it works. And to be honest, if it wasn't for him, maybe I wouldn't have as much. So it's that whole thing, just like martial arts. You don't know. Most people that go to a martial arts school, they don't know what they're getting as crap until they get in a fight. And then they're like, something sucks here. I just got beat up pretty easy. But then they're like, where is this good school at? And it's like, dang it. So in a lot of ways, I had to say I'm just fortunate. I'm blessed to have came across the right people, But I am a type of person that wakes up at 7 in the morning and I am working on music and band stuff for probably 7 hours. And if I go to work, get off, and it's 7 hours after work, every day I'm working on this. So through work, I think it leads up to the opportunities. So, but I've been blessed is the whole point of that.